Thank you for everyone that joining us today. My name's Elaine Boyd, like I said, with GoFanbase. And we've been working exclusively with social media for automotive dealerships for the last several years. And through our work, we've been able to establish long-lasting relationships with sites like Facebook and Instagram. So we're very excited to be joined today by Gregory Resnick. He's account manager at Facebook and Instagram, and he just offers a ton of insight into new and upcoming products from the two sites, and also offers support to us with the GoFanbase team. So Gregory's just been great to work with. I'm very excited that he's here with us today. We'll also be doing questions and answers at the end of the webinar. So if you're thinking of stuff that you already know you want to ask, or while we're going through the presentation, please go ahead and put them in there so that we can make sure that we answer them at the end. Or you can also tweet us at GoFanbase if you'd like to use that route to ask your questions. So Greg, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Sure, Elaine, thanks for having me, and hi to everyone else here attending. I think we have a great agenda today. First, going through the value that Facebook provides to you as advertisers. Next, we're going to go through a product feature of something kind of new, up and coming, that'll be great to utilize on Facebook. They're called lead ads. Then get into how to really effectively target auto buyers, a high-level overview of Instagram, and then we can take any questions that you have. So first, this slide's an important one because it gives you a kind of a high-level scope of what the entire industry looks like and where people are most engaged on their phones. So you see these apps and you recognize them as apps that you probably use almost every day on your phone, between YouTube, Google, Snapchat, ESPN. The size of these circles represents the amount of time spent on each of these ads respectively. The interesting fact is that the time spent on Facebook and Instagram equals the amount of time total on all the rest of these apps. So it comes out to something like 1 in every 5 minutes spent on your mobile phone is either checking Facebook or Instagram, which is an incredible stat and really shows to the value that Facebook provides in targeting these users where they are most. So in terms of really why Facebook and why you're advertising on Facebook, there are a few main reasons. First is based on consumer behavior. Like we just said, it's really being where your people are, where your potential customers are. You're able to then kind of take that further and target reach into reaching the people who matter to you in a really specialized way that we'll get into more details on. And then ultimately kind of driving automotive solutions. What you're doing is you want to sell cars, and we have solutions on Facebook that will really help drive those business objectives throughout your entire customer life cycle.
Hey, so, Greg, I'm gonna jump in real quick. When you're thinking about how to reach new customers and advertise your brand and inventory, this is where people are all day long. Greg and I were talking last week, and if you break down the amount of time spent on Facebook alone, not including Instagram, throughout the day, they are an average of 1 in every 5 minutes the user is on their Facebook page. So it's incredible that they, are really spending time there. So, and Greg's going to be going over the different types of targets available, so you can actually pinpoint the people that you can get to your dealership that are looking to buy. So it's just, another way that you can target those customers to come and purchase from you.
Yeah, that's great. So first, I thought kind of going into this little product overview, going into lead ads. So lead ads are a new solution that we have on Facebook. And basically what makes it special is that you're able to generate leads with a mobile focused product. So before, the lead generation process on mobile was really sticky and just wasn't a good one. People would maybe get into the generation process. They would be clicking little form areas on their phone, they'd mess up, they'd get frustrated, and they'd leave. Basically, as you see here in this video, the process is pretty seamless. Basically, a form pulls up natively within the Facebook app almost immediately. It auto-populates Facebook user data. So if what you want to gather is the name and the email, maybe phone number of a potential customer, if that stuff's in their profile, it's auto-populated, and just as you see, submitting a lead is as easy as that. And so basically, the reason we built this product is to solve the key challenges that were in lead generation. Like I said, collecting leads on mobile was a very difficult process, and this really helps you collect leads across all devices, whether it's mobile, maybe on an iPad, or even on desktop now. You're able to improve the quality of the lead contact info with pre-populating data that's in their Facebook profile, or asking custom questions that are easy to edit and easy to input. And then ultimately, you're really acquiring the right customers. And this lead generation product, especially for auto advertisers and for people at a dealership, is you're finding people who are just further down that advertising funnel who are more likely and ultimately most likely to convert and actually buy a car or take the action that you want them to at your dealership. So now, Elaine and I thought it'd be great to go through some targeting best practices and basically understand really what we're doing at Facebook and what you can do to reach the right people with your advertising efforts. And so this is a combination of custom and lookalike audiences. And what this is it's using your data that you already have to leverage Facebook's matching capabilities. And then also using Facebook and partner category data, which will help you find the most relevant users on Facebook using the data that we have and that our partners have. So first, to understand custom audiences and how they really work, basically you see here you have two sides. We have the people that you know who are high-value customers, people who have bought cars, who have come in for service, and you have that data, whether it's email addresses, phone numbers, or if you're utilizing the Facebook pixel, people who visit your website. And then on the other hand of that is people on Facebook. And so we have the Facebook data, you have your high-value customer data. And with custom audiences, basically we're able to match those targets and retarget those users on Facebook with specific ads that drive them down a certain funnel. So if you know you have users who have bought a car 2 or 2.5 years ago and they're in need for tires, you upload that information, you retarget them with a tire ad, and they'll be into your dealership taking that action that you want them to take. So on top of custom audiences, what we have are lookalike audiences. So this is using your custom audience data to then find users on Facebook who are most likely to take that same action that those users have taken. So it's someone like this who just maybe took an action on your website and you have his information and you want people to take that same action. Basically using the expansive data that we have at Facebook, we're able to find users who are just like that person who took that action that you wanted them to take. Similarly, if you have someone who you know just leased a vehicle, you can find people who are just like her or him who may be great potential customers to come into your dealership. So to kind of put this in real terms, and Elaine and I thought it would be important kind of across this presentation to have success stories and not only just showing you the theory of how things are supposed to work on Facebook, but really how they have worked in the field and examples of how we're really finding the success. And so this success story comes from a company using lookalike audiences. So there's a website called Unhaggle that helps people configure the cars that they want to get a great deal. And basically what they did is they took a high-value custom audience list and created a lookalike audience to target most likely potential buyers. What happened was they saw incredible results. They had a 200% greater rate of conversion compared to the other efforts that they were running, and also a 60% lower cost per conversion. So what they did is they used Facebook data to find people most like their previous customers, and they were able to find new ones at a very low cost.
And you can really use that with any brand too. So, you know, if you're higher end like Mercedes-Benz or BMW, we've had great success targeting a service campaign to using the custom audience data as well. So it doesn't have to be just a Toyota or Honda. You can really use it across any brand and targeting whether you want them to upgrade their vehicle or get them into a service special. Yeah,
that's exactly right. So now kind of onto that next half of targeting that we're able to provide on Facebook that's really, really effective is targeting focused on our Facebook data and also our partner category data. So you see here, we have online and offline sources such as Facebook itself and the data that we have, and then partner categories where we gather data from partners like Axiom, Datalogix, and Polk Data. So what then we're able to do is kind of take that and find people's interests, where they're located, which I know is especially important for dealership targeting, their demographics, and ultimately the behaviors that people take and are likely to take to then target them with specific ads. So this breaks them down into sample segments, kind of at the high level, whether they're potentially interested in cars or a certain type of car, location, whether they're living in Chicago or another major city or even another small town where your dealership's located, demographics such as newly engaged or different customer characteristics that you might know fits a certain make or model, And then ultimately behaviors using Polk data to find in-market and near-market buyers, or buyers specifically who are most likely to be a premium brand buyer. And it's just using these solutions, these targeting solutions that we have on Facebook and with partner category data to find the customers most likely to take the action that you want them to take. So once again, kind of tying this into an actual success story, the first one we have was a kind of an overall Facebook success story, and this was from Hyundai Motor America. And basically what they used was Polk data to go beyond interest in maybe people who are interested in a car or just simply interested in Hyundai, and find people who are actually in the market to buy a vehicle. And in using this Polk data and finding in-market and near-market buyers, it resulted in a 55% lower cost per conversion than what their goal was, and a 2.1 increase in vehicle sales. And so they were able to really find users who were going to buy a car rather than just users who may be interested in a car. And now Elaine's going to tell you about one of their own personal success stories at GoFanbase.
Yeah, so Hyundai of Far, they wanted to drive traffic to their website. And one thing that we haven't mentioned is that these ads don't have to just go to the dealership's Facebook page. They can go to any landing page or to the website. So for Hyundai of Far, it actually went to their lease special on their website. So when they click shop now, they actually can go anywhere that you want them to go. We actually we used Polk data to target people that are looking to lease a vehicle in the next 6 months, and they were interested in a Hyundai or similar vehicle, and also within the area of the dealership. So we're really able to target those buyers for the brand and that were near the dealership. We ran the campaign for 30 days, and we do that with the Hyundai of Far ads. We update them monthly just based on the vehicle specials at the dealership that they have. So this one, the impressions were over 200,000. They got 3,609 clicks to their website page about the lease special. The average cost per click was 19 cents. And just like any type of Facebook post out there, it can also get likes and comments. So a lot of times we see buying questions on the ads like, do you have it in this color? Do you have it with this feature on it? Things like that. Since these are people that were actually looking to purchase, when they see that ad, they're actually asking buying questions. So it's also a great way to get those interested buyers talking to you. And one thing, if you are already thinking about questions, please go ahead and use that question box in the webinar, or you can tweet them to @GoFanbase. So if you have stuff you already know you want to ask.
Great. So kind of the final feature of this webinar, Elaine and I thought it would be great to do a more high-level introduction of Instagram. With the new ability to advertise on Instagram, we thought it would be a great way to introduce this, show you how it works and how to really be successful on this platform, and also how GoFanbase has been successful on Instagram already. So basically, at a high level, what we're able to do on Instagram is, and what you will be doing on Instagram, is inspiring people visually with your dealership content. On Instagram, we have a highly passionate community. It's a place that people go, as you may know personally, to see cool images from friends and family, lifestyle images. And what dealerships are able to do is really express your business and your product line visually. So those are cool pictures of your cars, cool features of the cars, and using that great creative that a lot of auto advertisers already have and placing it on Instagram where it is highly engaging to the users. So in terms of kind of branding your content on Instagram, what you're able to do is really showcase it at the center of visual inspiration. So what you're doing is you're generating awareness and intent in seeing a great image like this one of Lexus that you see on the right. It's showcasing this car, a bunch of the cool visual images of it. You're reaching the right audience using the same targeting techniques that you're using to reach people on Facebook. And then ultimately, it's creating new opportunities to reach your customers with great creative on a new platform and finding people in another way to get them to take the action that you want them to take.
So the example with Lexus of Warwick, they had an RX launch event they wanted to get RSVPs for, so you can see the contact information in there for people to RSVP for it. And the dealership really wanted to target people and I'm going to back up for a second. Just like with Facebook that we talked about with that in-market Polk data targeting, we can bring that straight into Instagram as well. So we were looking for people that were looking to buy a Lexus within the area of the dealership. And we also added a demographic. They needed to be 30 years or older for the ad to show. So we can also add that age demographic in there as well. The campaign went for several weeks. You can see they got 192 likes. They did get several RSVPs from it, and then people commenting and sharing about the event. And what I like about this is that you don't have to just limit your advertising to vehicle specials or service specials, that you can also use it to advertise launch events, customer appreciation events. We can do the in-market targeting with the Polk data, or this would be a great way to also use the custom audiences where we invite those customers that maybe purchased from you a few years ago. This would be a great way to get them back into the dealership, excited about the new model, or just upgrading their vehicle. So this can actually be done a couple of different ways within Instagram as well. And another thing that we can do is it doesn't just have to be an image. Instagram and also with Facebook, it can be short videos too. And people love to watch videos. Instagram is a great place for those. And we've actually done a couple of those as well and got amazing results. The next example that we show with Crevier BMW, we've done videos with. So just looking ahead.
So piggybacking off of that perfectly, basically on Instagram, like Elaine was saying, you can use a bunch of the same creative that you've been using on Facebook in special ways on Instagram. So as you see here on the left, this is an example of a carousel ad, which is a great way for you as a dealership to showcase your products and get people excited about different products or different features that you're presenting. You're also like you've always been doing, you're able to use photo ads with links. And like Elaine was saying, you're able to utilize video creative that's really inspiring and really engaging on Instagram. With the same solutions that you've been using on Facebook to generate interest from your potential customers, you're also able to use call to actions like shop now, book now, learn more, contact us. And so it's using these call to actions to get an Instagram user to not only see your great creative and be potentially visually inspired by it, but also to take an action to drive them further down that funnel like we've been talking about.
So this is one of the examples with Crevier BMW. They did Instagram advertising, and they also did Facebook advertising for this event. You can do both. You don't have to limit it. It was for their Happier Holiday event in December. It had a great response. You can just see from the likes. It had 2,100 and almost 50 likes. People very much engaged with it. For this campaign, we targeted people looking to buy a BMW or similar with that age demographic of 30 and older, and within the area of Crevier BMW. The impressions that they got were 132,000. Clicks to the page that was on their website were 329, and received just a lot of exposure with people engaging with the brand. And this is an example of a sales post. So it has in there the 6 Series special, getting the rebate on that. So lots of different ways that we can do this. Like I said, we've also done videos with it, and you want just something that's exciting that people enjoy seeing on there. So a lot of different things, like I said, that we can do, and using that either custom audience or that Polk data targeting to really find those people to come in and purchase from you. All right, so we didn't want to we covered a lot of different things. We didn't want to get into too much nitty gritty stuff because there is a bunch of different things that we can do. Just focusing on the custom audiences, Polk data within Facebook and Instagram, we wanted to be able to show you those. And now we want to open it up to questions and answers. We didn't want to throw too much information at you. So we've already been getting a few questions, and just want to remind everybody you can put them in that question box if there's things that you want to ask. But so the first question, can you do Polk data targeting and other types of targeting together? I've got some interest in targeting military people in my area. Greg, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, sure, Elaine, I can take that. So like we were discussing earlier when going over targeting, you're able to utilize Polk partner category data to find potential in-market and near-market buyers. That's a great technique to find people who really, as you know, who are most likely to come in and buy a car. In utilizing the Facebook data, you can also include or instead use targeting based on something like Elaine said, military. So that's using Facebook work experience, knowing who's actually worked in the military, or someone who's expressed interest in the military, or using that kind of interest or demographic targeting to find people who are most likely to take those actions on Facebook.
Yeah, and we've done a few campaigns actually specific to this where we were looking for people to purchase a certain vehicle model, and then also were either in the military or showed interest in the military. And what we would want to do is actually look at your area to make sure that we don't limit it to be too small, that there's not enough people to actually get any traction with the campaign. So if you do have that interest, talk with us and we can put together some numbers that would be good for your area. We got another question. What length video is possible in Instagram?
Yeah, I can take that one also, Elaine. So basically, right now on Instagram, there's a 15-second, a 30-second, and I know that we're introducing a 60-second video, so it's really using that video creative that you have, not needing to chop it down and get people excited and engaged on Instagram. What we're doing is, and this is kind of similar just as a note with Facebook in general, as we roll out new products like we did with lead ads or as we are now with advertising on Instagram, basically we roll it out, we get feedback, and we start to iterate on that product. So at first, when we rolled out Instagram video, we got feedback on how we should improve it. And part of that improvement was allowing longer videos. And that's why now we're taking that feedback and we're bringing that product to advertisers. So that's something that I'll be in discussion with Elaine about kind of when those rollouts are and how that's going to work. And she'll be working with you to then utilize that video creative that you have in the best way on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, and Tim, if you want to talk offline, I'm happy to talk with you, see which dealerships you have in mind for it and what you want to do, and we can work with them on getting that set up. Next question is, what kind of budgets are we talking for Facebook and Instagram? I'll go ahead and take that one. A good minimum ad budget is around $500 just to get started. And what we can do is actually look at what targets you're wanting to do, the size of your area, and see what type of amount of people that we're looking at, and actually put together a recommended budget for you. So 500 would be the minimum, and then we can build on top of that, just depending on how many people are in the area that meet those targets that you want to do for the dealership. All right, next question. Where do these ads show?
So I can take that one, Elaine. So
okay.
In terms of where these ads show, it basically is kind of based on a bunch of different variables that we were talking about earlier on. So largely it's where you want them to show. So we have a mobile placement, which is really important based on the shift to mobile that we've just seen in this advertising industry. So many users are accessing Facebook through their mobile phones, and that's what they're really on all day. So that's a great place to target these users. You're also able to target them in the desktop newsfeed, as we talked about, obviously on Instagram. And honestly, choosing all of those placements is really best practice to not only increase the placement of your ads, but really increase the ability for your potential buyers to see your ads.
Perfect. And one thing, just not exactly on the same subject, but there are limitations with how many characters, especially with people on mobile. We just need to get them interested with something short and sweet. So that's why it's so great to send them to somewhere on your website where they can get more information about the vehicle or the special or whatever it is, because we want to keep it just limited to getting them to be interested and hitting the shop now button. Okay, next question. Is it best to run a single campaign or advertising for a certain thing, or have several, or update it every month? I'll go ahead and take that one. It really depends on the offer that you're wanting to do. We're able to change them out on a monthly basis, like we do with Hyundai FR, like I said, where we update it with that monthly special that they have. But another good way to do it is actually using the same special consistently for 2 to 3 months. That way it continues to be advertised to the same people looking to either purchase, or that if we're doing a custom audience, that they are interested, that they need to get their car serviced, but every time they saw the ad, maybe they were busy. So if we're able to show it to them for 2 to 3 months, then they can take that action. So we can do it either way, just depending on how you want to set it up at your dealership. All right. Next question: how does it work to get you the CRM data to do the customer match? I'll go ahead and answer that one. We will actually send you a secured link to upload a CS file of either email addresses and or phone number. We can do the match either way. We recommend doing at least a list of 2,500 emails or phone numbers, since not every record is going to be a match within Facebook, and we really need to have enough people to show the ad to, so we can get some traction and get the ad showing. So 2,500 of emails or phone numbers is a good place to start. And we've had some clients target people that have purchased a vehicle from their dealership and then advertise a service special to get, whether maybe it's an oil change or something similar. So they purchased a vehicle a year ago or so, depending on what brand it is and how often they need to get their oil changed, and then pulling that list of customers so they come in to get their car service there. Or doing the upgrade where maybe they've had the vehicle for 2 or 3 years and it was a lease, or they made a purchase and it's time to get them back in to get the newest version of that vehicle.
Yeah, and Elaine, just to add on there, just from the Facebook side, I know that sometimes there can be hesitations, understandably so, to give that customer data or that data that you have based on people who have bought cars. And basically from the Facebook side, what we're doing is we're treating that data really securely. We hash that data and basically use only what's necessary to match it to users on Facebook that you can then retarget. And that's why even when custom audiences are created from your user data, there's no user specifics. We don't actually match it to real people that you can target specifically. It creates an audience, kind of an overall audience that fit into your customer data, but not really any specifics. So it just keeps it as safe and confidential as possible.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. So if you have, that's all the questions that we've received. So if you are thinking of one, go ahead and get it in there so we can make sure we answer it for you. Or if you think of something afterwards, you can always just email us. Our email address is there, support@GoFanbase.com. And we can work with you on putting together the campaigns of what you're looking to target. Or if you want some examples of what we've done for other dealerships, we can definitely put that together for you. So with that being said, Greg, thank you so much for doing the webinar with us, and thank you to everyone that joined. If you do want to discuss any Facebook or Instagram targeting for your dealership, please email us, like I said, at support@gofanbase.com. And that's all we have for you. Thank you all.
Great. Thanks, Elaine. And thanks everybody for having me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Elaine, and I'm happy to help assist you on anything.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you all.